Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on in the market right now? So we've had a very aggressive move on the weekly time frame to the downside. Now, in my previous videos, I said to you it's very unlikely we're going to come in and fill the whole of this wick. And let me explain to you why I said that. And I do think we are at a breaking point right now, which you would understand later on in this video exactly my mindset and what I'm thinking, because we could fully send from around these regions. However, the reasons why I was not expecting price to come and take out the full wick, and it's very unlikely we will still do that, is because number one, when we had this liquidation to the downside, the whole purpose of this liquidation was to get most of those people that were longing the positions around all of these regions on BTC, Ethereum, and all other coins, was to get them liquidated, to take out all their stop losses. And that's exactly what's happened. Now, you need to understand the market makers, why would they give us another opportunity for price to come all the way back down and then allow us to get into a new position at a better price with our stop losses below certain regions? Now, I don't know what the agenda is, because as things stand right now, if we continue to fall like this, and if we continue to go lower than this wick, we will actually be in no man's land. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about on the Ethereum chart. But there is a very, very high chance that we can also reverse from here. So let me just show you on the total market cap chart. So on the weekly time frame, we have everything that we need for a reversal. Prices come into the discount side of this dealing range. Prices tapped into the OTE level from this swing low to this swing high, tapped in exactly pinpoint 78.6. Prices tapped into this fair value gap down here. On the daily time frame, prices tapped into this daily order block, and we rejected from it. Now, the only thing that I can see is if we just go back to the weekly. Usually, when we get wicks like this, we want to see the 50% of the wick get filled. So if I just remove that for you guys, and now we've come into the 50% of this wick. Okay, so it's just gone to the daily time frame. Now that we've come into the 50% of this wick, I want to see how price reacts from these regions. We've taken out all of these liquidity areas down here. Let's see how price reacts from this 50%. I'm still looking to the upside. Nothing has changed for me just yet. I will let you know if anything changes. Now, going on to the BTC chart on the weekly time frame. Now, initially I said to you guys, I want to see the 100K region get struck. And the fact is, we haven't yet struck that on any exchange. I use Bitstamp to do my analysis. Now, if I show you the analysis and exactly what I'm thinking about on BTC, on the weekly time frame, number one, dealing range from this swing low to this swing high. We've come deep into the discount side of the dealing range. Let's remove that. OTE level, so fibs from here to here, tapped into the 61.8, a chance, a possibility, which is highly likely, of us tapping into the 78.6. Now, if price continues to go lower, I will expect the 100K to be met, and likely for us to actually take out these lows down here of 98K. Now, what does that mean for our alts? I'll come on to that in a second. I want to see how this weekly closes, because in reality, we could just get a wick exactly like this, and then the body comes and close to the upside. Let's see how price reacts from the 78.6. I do like to see that get tapped into for our final confirmation. It is looking good to the upside still. Nothing has changed for me just yet. Now, if I go on Ethereum, this is where it's all at on Ethereum. So if I just remove these areas here. Now, what I'm expecting on Ethereum, number one, we've got the dealing range from here to here. Here's the 50% region, and we've come into the discount side of this dealing range. We've tapped into this order block down here. On the daily time frame, what you can see is we have yet to tap into the lows of this liquidity area. Now, that will be my final area of where I want to see ETH get tapped into. And if we do reject from around these regions, we will literally bolster from here. However, if price continues coming lower to fill in this wick, there's a high possibility not only would this wick get filled in, but then we will continue coming to the downside. And the reason why I say that is because if we look on the weekly time frame, we will be in no man's land around these regions. Let's see how it's looking on the monthly. My target would probably be around 2.5k if price comes and close below this monthly candle down here. Now, coming back onto the weekly, we do have some key PD arrays. We've got this fair value gap here. We've got this fair value gap down here. But I just cannot see price coming into these regions without coming all the way into at least these order block levels. What I can also say is if we put on a dealing range from the overall swing low to this overall swing high, we haven't yet tapped into this 50%, which questions me a bit. That although we haven't tapped into it, could we then get this move to the downside if we close below this wick? Now, just to also show you guys, we have fear in the market right now. I don't know why this is not extreme fear. It should be, but we have fear in the market right now. And we're also hearing about some news that the FTSE has plunged as the US regional banks warn over credit fraud exposure. We're getting a lot of news on the stocks saying things are not looking good. Now, I don't know if this is FUD, and normally I don't listen to news. I don't follow any news. So this could be FUD, and I'm hoping it is FUD to get people on the wrong side of the market, shorting the market, and they're not actually expecting for the move to the upside, creating extreme fear in the market. And that's exactly what we want to see. So now obviously my position that I was in has been stopped out. I closed that position. However, I want to show you exactly what I'm looking at because there is a possibility for another position. Again, these are high risk positions because it is like catching a falling knife. But there is a position that we can enter around these regions right now. And I said to you, if price stops me out here, I want to see price come deeper into this area down here. And that's exactly what we've done. So if I just put in my fib from these regions, okay. So we had the 78.6, we rejected these levels, we bounced off it, we've come all the way back down. We've got this order block and this fair value gap down here. So let's just mark on these levels first. We've got these fair value gaps down here that price is tapped into. Now let's see where price goes from here. Let's see what we got on the 1 hour. There's the order block. Let's see how price reacts from these regions. But in theory, there's an entry right now, a very high risk, where we can get in with a slightly wider stop loss, to be honest. I don't want to put my stops below this, but we can get in with a slightly wider stop loss. And I'll still be targeting those same key levels that I mentioned in my previous videos. So go and check out that video and also that entry that I took on Ethereum. So I'm going to look into taking an entry on this as a high risk entry. Again, you don't need to take these entries. I'm just telling you exactly why I do. I like to be open and honest about everything that I'm doing. So nothing has actually changed just yet. There's a slight bit of confusion in terms of where the market's going to go depending on if we continue going lower from here, because I do feel like if we continue to go lower, we would fully send to the downside. Therefore, my targets for Ethereum will be number one, around this midpoint of 3.1k. And then if you continue going lower, I'm looking at 2.5k. And that means quite a lot of our alts will be down by another 50-60%. Now, this could be FUD in the news, and we could possibly reverse from this region, and we could get a wick on the weekly coming to the upside, and for the rest of the month we'll get a move to the upside. But let's see how things go. I will keep you guys updated on any other positions that I take, and if we have any other volatility within the market, I will let you guys know exactly what I'm thinking. So again, if you like these types of videos, please turn on your notification bell, because I trade the market live with you guys and I will tell you exactly what I'm looking at. So I'll see you in the next video.